Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, I am your host, Saunch. Thank you so much for coming in, stopping by, and checking out the channel. If you enjoy or you find yourself enjoying this style of content, by the end of the video, consider subscribing, liking, and continuing the conversation in the comment sections below. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 2022 IFBB Pro Muscle Contest FitWorld for the men's physique division. Their lineup tomorrow, which is the 19th of March. So this show kind of snuck up on us in Anaheim, California. This is a muscle contest sanctioned event. Now, looking at the, not the scorecard, but the promotional poster, it does have some other divisions in here. It has some ladies in this, looks like wellness, maybe some bikini, but not too sure. Maybe that's on the NPC side, but on the pro side, it is featuring the men's physique division. And ladies and gentlemen, we have, I think it's approximately 9 competitors that are going to be in this lineup. We have several, or at least 2 competitors that competed in the recent Arnold Classic, and those same competitors also competed in the Boston Pro. So we're going to see a rematch of sorts, not so much, but still kind of different, but still same. Now, let's go ahead and start off with the lineup. The first competitor that we have, his name is Manny Andara. Andara? It's probably Andara. Now, the last time we saw Andy Andara, if that's how I'm saying it right, was at the 2021 Toronto Pro Super Show, where he placed 14th in men's physique. Looking at his most recent physique update, actually, he posted one on Instagram. I think he looks phenomenal. I think he's going to be one of the better physiques coming into the show. I'd be surprised if Manny lands outside the top 6, but there are 11, not 9. There are 11 competitors. So I think Manny's going to have his hands full. Luckily, he is a California native, so he doesn't have to travel too much. And if you don't know what I'm trying to say by that is, if you are a local competitor, you don't have to travel as much. You don't have to fly, and usually that's going to spell success for you in the terms of water retention. So your body's not going to be as stressed from the travel. So your body's not going to hold on to a lot of subcutaneous water, and it's going to would make your body look a little watery. So with Manny being a local in California, he might only have to drive a couple hours. So he's not going to have a lot of stress coming into the show. It's going to give him a good advantage against some of these competitors, some people coming from Italy and Kentucky, to really do well. So best of luck to Manny Andara at this year's FitWorld Men's Physique. Jeremy Coleman is the next competitor on the scorecard. I believe the last time we saw Jeremy Coleman was at the 2019 IFBB Pro California Night of Champions, where he placed 4th in the men's classic physique division. Now, I would say this is going to be a good prediction for Jeremy to land in this first call out. He is a top 4 competitor at a pro show, so that usually spells success in the terms of placings at people's recent showings as we do these lineup prediction videos. Now, the only caveat is going to be that Jeremy Coleman, based off my records, apologies if it's not as accurate as it should be, but he hasn't competed since 2019. That is, 3 years if addition and subtraction are, they are difficult here for me. Math and words. I don't say words very often, but math and words are hard. Jeremy hasn't competed in a few years. So there's going to be a chance that as men's physique kind of starts to grow into classic physique with board shorts, time in the competitive lineup might have passed him by. Now, that's not saying that Jeremy has not been doing the work to keep up with the competitive lineup and with the move that men's physique is doing here in 2022. But it's hard to say that a 4th place finish in 2019 is going to translate well to potentially a top 4 finish in 2022. Now, I'm not writing Jeremy Coleman out of a top 4 prediction. I think he has a very safe, very streamlined, and aesthetic physique. But there are going to be some competitors in this lineup that are going to be out muscling Jeremy. So I would like to see Jeremy Coleman do well at this show. He is also a California native, so he's going to have that advantage of less stress. Less stress makes the whole world go round, and your physique just look just a little bit better at these shows. So best of luck to Jeremy Coleman at the Fit World show. It's kind of a weird name, the Fit World. But anywho, next up we have another Jeremy, Jeremy Dutra. And the last time we saw Jeremy Dutra was at the 2020 IFBB Battle in the Desert, a men's physique competition where he placed 6th in that lineup. So, it's a fairly recent show. It's only been about 2 years ago. And I like Jeremy a lot here. Mr. Dutra brings a phenomenal flow to his physique. He has those tight trunks on that shows the quads, shows the leg development. I think he's very wide for his structure, for his build. Great conditioning for the most part. I'd like to see him a little bit sharper in the back. You can kind of see it's a little watery. It's a little soft. It could be more crisp. It could be harder. And when he leans out just a little bit more, it's going to show a little bit better presentation, a better package of his physique. It's going to show better lines, better flow, and it's going to give a more 3D pop to the muscle. So I'd like to see that. It's a little nitpicky, but I think Jeremy Dutra could do well at this show. Just depends on how much he's improved his physique and how much he can improve his conditioning coming into this Fit World muscle contest competition. Next up, as we are absolutely cruising through this lineup, Jaun, is that how you say it? Jaun, Jaun Manuel Gomez is the next competitor on the lineup here for the Fit World. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, ladies and gentlemen, there were quite a few Manuel Gomez gentlemen on the internet. So I do apologize if I mixed it up with these competitors. But the last time that we saw this Jaun Manuel Gomez was at the NPC Worldwide Amex Classic, where he competed in men's classic physique. So this is actually looks like a middleweight picture that I used, but it did say that he was in classic physique. So I'm not sure how it's going to translate into men's physique. It is you usually don't see bodybuilding or classic transition into men's physique. So I really hope I didn't mess up the scorecard with the competitor lineup, because it does say he's from Colombia. So I'm not too sure, guys. So apologies if I mixed that up, but best of luck to Mr. Gomez at this year's Fit World competition. Myron Friffin is the next competitor, hailing from California. A lot of Californian competitors that are doing this show, and I think it's a really smart strategy coming into the show. If you're local, I'm based in the Camp Parks, California, just outside San Francisco here. So I am also a California native, or technically, since I'm stationed here. So it would be beneficial for me to get to these shows and actually do some coverage in person. Now, it's definitely the focal point of what we'd like to do in the near future. But in the meantime, we will be doing what we do now. Now, with Myron Friffin, the last time we saw him was at the 2021 IFBB Pro Europa Phoenix, where he placed 4th in men's physique. So if bodybuilding math and history has served us right in these last few lineup prediction videos, I definitely have Mr. Friffin in this top 6. If we look at his actual Europa Pro show pictures, great physique, great structure. I think he's going to compare well to Emanual Hunter, another competitor that we've seen quite a bit of already this year. So we'll be talking about him next, but definitely keep an eye on Mr. Friffin here. I like his physique. He looks hard. He looks really hard. Good conditioning, good muscle definition, good muscle maturity. upper traps is something you sometimes don't see in men's physique. And I think Mr. Griffin here has done a phenomenal job of building up those upper traps. And hey, he's even got a good set of calves on him. So the traps and the calves, I like it. I like it. Arnold would be proud. Best of luck to Mr. Griffin, Myron Griffin at the Fit World. So next up we have Emanual Hunter. We've talked about him a few times, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about him a few times. He placed second at the Arnold Classic in men's physique. And then he also rolled right into the Boston Pro that I believe it was the very next weekend, and placed fourth. Surprisingly, he placed fourth. So I wouldn't say the lineup was more difficult, honestly. I wouldn't say it was more difficult. And I wouldn't say that his physique was much off. We have Boston Pro photos here, but I'm looking at the Arnold Classic photos right now as we speak, and I think the physiques are very comparable. I think that the package, the presentation is very comparable. Now, if you don't know, Emanual Hunter came out of absolutely nowhere into the Arnold Classic, and then just shocked everyone, in my opinion, landing in that top 2. So expect to see him battling it out for that 1 and 2 spot for that Olympia qualification. He already has a buku amount of points for qualifying off points, but I think this is Emanual Hunter's show to win. It's definitely his show to lose if something were to fall apart in his prep. I definitely see him winning this show. Out of Alabama, he's going to have to travel a little bit, so we'll see how that plays on him. But, from going to Ohio all the way to Boston on the East Coast and now heading all the way over to the West Coast, I think he's done a good job of maintaining that taper, that physique, and the conditioning. So I don't see a problem there. Good luck, Emanual Hunter, at the Fit World. I definitely have him in the battle to win the show. Now, another competitor we just saw at the Boston, we just saw at the Arnold, he competed against Mr. Hunter, is Daniel Leone. Now, Mr. Leone hailing from Italy. So, hey, if you're here, if you're in the U.S., you might as well keep on competing. And I think that was Daniel's strategy so far. Now, when he was coming into the Arnold Classic, I had him actually probably placing in the top 4. He ended up, I believe, placing 7th or 8th. If I look at it, 7th. He placed 7th. And I don't know if it's the presentation, because the physique, I feel like, is a world-class physique. It's definitely a top 3 physique at any tier 2 show. And unfortunately, barely hanging into that top 8 at a tier 1 show like the Arnold Classic. But honestly, let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on Mr. Leone out of Italy. But I think Daniel has a phenomenal physique. Great structure, very muscular, very complete. I'm just not sure what the judges are looking for from him to give him that wave to move up into those tier 1 shows. So I'm kind of baffled here. Of course, I am new to men's physique on the media side. So please let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment sections below, what your thoughts are on Daniel Leone coming into this Fit World competition. I definitely think that if Mr. Hunter slips up, I think this is Daniel's show to win. Next up on the scorecard, we have Benquil. I'm not sure about that one. Benquil Marigny. Wow. I'm not going to say that one again. Apologies to Mr. Benquil. Now, the last time we saw him actually hailing out of Kentucky was at the Atlantic Coast Pro, the 2021 Atlantic Coast Pro in the men's physique, placing top 4. So, hey, if again, bodybuilding history shows us right and lets us know how it's going to go, he is going to be a top 6 competitor. Now, I'd say he has a very streamlined physique. I think he looks, I know it sounds crazy off these photos, but he does look a little shallow in the back. So I'm not sure how he's going to compete against people like Daniel Leone. I think he's comparable to Emanual Hunter when we look at muscle, I'd say width, but I think Mr. Hunter has a little bit more density and 3D Phil Heath-esque pop to his physique. So Mr. Benquil, apologies, I feel bad. I butcher these names sometimes. But I definitely see him in the top 6, probably in the top 4, honestly. I think him and Manny Andara, the first guy we talked about out of California, I think both of those guys actually, these two could compare well. But best of luck to Mr. Benquil. Oh, goodness, I am sorry. At this year's Fit World Men's Physique Competition. Next up, we have Monty Sylvan. Out of Los Angeles, California. Now, what is going to be great for Mr. Monty here is he does not need to travel too far. He is, as some people would say, a local. Local. No, local, just local. I would say the last time we saw him was at the 2020 IFBB Pro Border States, where he did place 11th. So not sure where we're going to see him in terms of a top 6 finish, but he has a good density to his physique. I do believe he turned pro in the 40-plus Masters, so it's always exciting to see older gentlemen get on stage and really show what they can do and what they're made of. Put the what do you call it? The axe to the grindstone and just keep on showing how competitive they are. So best of luck to Monty, a Los Angeles native, at this year's Fit World competition. Next up, we have another, I believe it was Masters competitor, placing 9th at the 2020 Legion Sports Festival in the Masters division is Jabbaar Tobios. I'm not sure. I think it's Tobias. Tobias sounds safe. So like I said, last time we saw him was 9th in the Masters. I would say he's going to be a little undersized for the show. I would like to see a little bit tighter posing trunks and more oil. He looks kind of dry. I wouldn't say like the conditioning dry, but I think he needs a little bit more oil on him. So to be fair, we haven't seen him in 2 years, so maybe he can make those adjustments. I know by the time he sees this show, he's going to be getting on stage, but I would like to see that. I'm not sure how much muscle he's been able to put on in the last 2 years, but if he is able to put on, 15, 20 pounds of solid muscle, I think that he could be competitive in this top 6 lineup. But time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, as we are probably about 12 hours out from them getting on stage in Anaheim, California, a suburb of Los Angeles. So best of luck to Mr. Tobias at the Fit World competition. And last but certainly not least is Mckenneth Woodberry. Now, Mr. Mckenneth, hailing out of Arizona, is going to be our last and one of our Masters competitors coming into the show. And to be fair, he did win his last show in the Masters division, the 2022 Legion Sports Festival in the Men's Physique Masters division. So if you look at that, you think about the conditioning, the muscle density, the muscle maturity. Hey, he's got some tight shorts on, and that's always good in men's physique. But I would say I'm excited to see Mr. Woodberry get on stage here. I think it's going to be a really competitive lineup. I'm not sure where he's going to land. I think if he lands in the top 10, top 8, that'd be really good for him. Looking at his Instagram, he looks pretty sharp. I'm not going to lie. Looks pretty sharp. We'll see. Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it for the complete lineup for the men's physique division at this year's Muscle Contest Fit World. Interesting title. Now, make sure you guys check out the description of the video. It's going to have all of the athletes' information, their every single Instagram account. I think this is the first show I've been able to get every competitor's tag. So, that's happy for me. It makes me feel good. Check out my links if you want to support me. Gym Pin, Galaxy Labs, Ninja Viking, TubeBuddy if you guys are trying to get into YouTube and need a little tips and tricks on how to grow your channel to make some money, support the athletes like I am here on BNN. Check out tubebuddy.com/saunch and you guys can support me over there. And if you just want to send me some dollar bills, you can send me money at Cashapp, at Saunchegrow. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out another episode of the Bodybuilding News Network. I appreciate every single one of you coming in and checking out this video. Support the athletes, like I said, in the description video. And I'll see you tomorrow for the prejudging at this year's Fit World Men's Physique competition.